All right, we're going to show a little bit of trying to figure out how to set the power and the speed to cut through leather. Um, so I was playing around, and I'm going to speed up a couple of these by making my own patterns and setting different layers to different um, speed and power and number of passes and all that stuff. And then that's certainly a way to play around and test and what you're going to do. Um, but let's see, I'm shutting off my air, and I did a pass. So speed 100, 90 power, and none of these actually in this limited test actually cut through. So I didn't go slow enough or high enough in power. So it's a quick test. It kind of went through. Um, some of them, but didn't go all the way through. So I was playing around. You could see some bigger trials and 4 passes, and I was just like, I want to try to do a lot less than 4 passes. Um, and here's a kind of the next one I did with the things, and I didn't actually print the um, the numbers on here because I wanted to kind of test it first. I was like, okay, yeah, this is I'm getting a little bit of all the way through, cutting. So that final one actually did pretty good, right? It came out. It's nice. It's pretty clean, and I manually wrote down the settings on that. But you could see that first one at 95, 95 one pass. I mean that kind of burned a little bit, so that's a little too slow um, for that power setting. I think it works better going a little bit faster and doing multiple passes. But, I was playing around with all of this and, there's just lots of different settings and number of passes. And, I wasn't doing it in a way that I would have a well documented piece of leather when I was done. I was just still playing around and just trying to different sizes and what looks good and trying to use different leather. And you can see here I'm using about a 4 to 5 ounce leather here. So I'm playing around. I'm trying, getting pretty successful at cutting through those and then manually writing down because I just didn't have the etcher write down the pieces for me. So, but with all that, I got some good numbers. I think I got some good cutting. I'm kind of figuring out, getting used to the tool, and and then I was doing some research, and I did find out that laser burn actually has a process called material um, testing or something like that, and it actually does a great job in creating that matrix for you and documenting it. And we're going to see that coming up in a few seconds here. But you know, a whole bunch of different trials and it's on like 9 different pieces of leather, right? But it's good. I've got it. I've got some good references now for this thick layer. It works. With these number of passes, so it does seem to be cleaner with a little slower, a little less power, and more passes. But this, if you look at this is what the laser burn will do for you. So it creates a matrix of different speeds and different power settings and different passes that you have. And it does a great job just doing a very, very nice, neat matrix for you. So a lot less time. You don't have to save your squares and text and all those things. It does it for you. And basically what it does is, and I noticed really quickly here as I started burning those that going at speeds of 4,000 is way too fast. But what it lets you do is set up the matrix. So count, you can see 5, for the speed and 5 for the power, and you set the minimum 50% power, maximum 100%, and it calculates based on the number of squares that you have, how to split between 50 and 100 to give you even increments on that. And then on the left-hand side is speed, right? So there's 5 count on that. We start at 100 speed, go to 4,000, and I quickly, as I started this, it was a pretty good matrix. It had a pretty good variability, and I figured out, well, 4,000. There's no way I'm going to need, or 4,000 is going to make any sense, right? That's just way too fast, and that's not going to cut through anything. So, but it does a nice job creating the matrix for you. Then I basically what I'm doing now is with different thicknesses of leather, I'm going to have the matrix, and you can see I already changed the speed to maximum 400, and it does a really nice job. So now from 100 to 400, from 50 to 100, and a 5x5 matrix, and you could see had some pretty good success. You could see that some of these on the top or bottom rows. So something like at 100 speed, 100 power obviously works, but all the different speeds, all the different powers did a good job. And this is actually 7 to 8 ounce leather. So this is fairly thick layer to go through. So the nice thing is you can, set up your leather, and I'm going to actually do it wet and dry and see, what the difference is in that. And this is it. This is material test generator in Lightburn. I couldn't remember in the beginning what what it was called, but again, you're setting up your matrix. You set your speed, um, and in here. Um, you can there's a setting here for the number of passes, so it does the same number of passes for the entire matrix that it's building. So you can set it to one pass or two pass or three pass. There's a couple other settings for yeah. So this is the settings for the when it writes the text on your thing, and then the number of passes that it's going to go through in the matrix. So it does a really nice job. I'm going to be doing. You can do a preview to see if it's doing what you're expecting. I think I did it once where instead of line I did a fill, and obviously it was very quick to notice I was doing the wrong thing. So uh, great stuff here. I am actually, this was a wet trial on 7/8, so I'm going to have kind of my matrix of different um, settings and wet and dry and different thicknesses of leather, and plan to do the same thing with wood, right? Get some plywood, 3 mil, 4 mil plywood, and play around making some cutouts in that. I hope you like this. Subscribe and follow, and give me a comment. Say, hey, Tony, how's it going? Talk to you soon. Thanks.